Hello everyone. So let's start today's session. Let me share my screen. Okay. The screen is shared. Let me bring it here. Sometimes I keep it in the middle. The reason behind that, if I keep it in middle, it is I can look into that and I get talk. I can look into my face and talk. So it will be like focusing to the camera and talking, not looking here and there. So it keeps you look into camera. Anyway, this is my LinkedIn profile. You all will be watching it from last few days. I always keep on like looking into LinkedIn, and the best part of it is I go to jobs and see which jobs I have not applied, any new job published, so I go and apply job here. These jobs are for experienced professional, and if you are fresher, you can find job in different other portal. And LinkedIn, there are very less job for freshers, but other portals you can find many jobs for fresher. Let me go to the Eclipse. Yeah. So last session we left it from here, right? The employee.set name Satyananda, that is my name. And here person.set name Madhusmita Sahu, that is my wife name. Okay. And I'm pretty old person, yeah. My age is 43 plus or 44, you can say. So we are talking about inheritance, right? We are talking about inheritance. My mission is little slow, as I said in previous session. So support me for that. See? Okay, we're back here. We're talking about inheritance. In inheritance, I was given you example of person and employee, the data object, person and the data object employee. How we can inherit person. What is the kind of inheritance? How a behavior can be inherited from other class to this class. I have explained that, right? Inheritance part of it. This is how inheritance. I will tell you some more thing about inheritance in Java. In object-oriented programming language, inheritance is of basically of two types. People say like, there are many types in object in C++. There are different types of inheritance in C++ as well as in Java. In Java, we have only multi-level inheritance. We don't have multiple inheritance in Java. In Java, employee can't extend person and many other classes, but employee can extend or employee can inherit only from one class. And then let's say another child class or employee you have that can inherit employee. What does it mean? I will show you just one. You know, Let me open something here. If you are looking into my video, you want to learn something on programming language, cloud, project management, you can always drop a message on my uh, video below the comment, or you can always mail me. So I am not a trainer, but I will be able to guide you on project management, on programming languages, on process framework based on my experience. And different programming languages if you want to learn or if you have any concern issues you can ask me. Even different kind of architecture like SOA, microservices, REST API, you can also ask me all that. Let's see if I open this OneNote, I can show you something. I or online we can see. It is taking too much of time. Okay. So here I'll draw a class diagram, to show you what actually I'm talking about multi-level and multiple inheritance. Engineering students, this will help you learn, understand it. It will help you in your while writing program or something. It will help you. This is a bit of this diagram. Hmm. Let me clean this here. This I already designed some time back because of some reason. Let's say this is one class, right? Employee. And we have one more class of it, right? Person. Uh, Here another class. Let's say EMP, yeah? Something. EMP class. So now when you talk about inheritance, when you talk about inheritance, okay. So forget about these lines, why they're not stored because I'm using online in editor. Sometime it works, sometime it won't work based on the internet speed, based on the other activities, right? So see, employee is inheriting from the person, right? So all the attribute inside or all attributes and behavior which is visible, those are public or protected. They or default they will be inherited to the employee class. And EMP will inherit the property of employee class. So employee class is inheriting property of person. That means inside employee you will have employees and persons properties or behaviors available. When EMP is inheriting, it is inheriting from employee. So employee, what EMP will have, EMP class will have the properties and behavior of employee, and also will have the persons because it will inherit parents parent behavior which are visible to him, right? So that's how. So this is called multi-level. You know, person is inherited till multi-level. Employee is inheriting multi-level, right? Multi-level inheritance. So now if this class, let me create here again for you. This is called class. Okay. Let's say here it will be EMP. Here it is person. Here it is employee. So now this EMP class is inheriting from both. It is called multi-level, parallel. So if you think about this in C++, multi-level is allowed, but in Java, it is not allowed. Because of they call something diamond issue, right? Because of diamond issue, it is not allowed. So here you cannot write. Suppose let's say this class is EMP. This class is EMP. So I cannot write extend comma employee. But in Java, sorry, in C++, you can write person comma employee. That means multiple inheritance can be done in C++, but that is not allowed in Java. So what is that diamond issue, right? The diamond issue, when you talk about diamond issue here, you can rule also. Okay. You can rule inheritance diamond problem. Inheritance and problem Java. You would actually get it from so many websites. You know, you see this diagram, you will be able to understand. See, class A, class X, class X, class Z. So this is what called diamond problem. So let's say parent class is A and class X extends A method extend. Here also this method extend. Now class Z is inheriting from both of them. So what will happen? So it will have a method X, it will have a method X. This both method X will be inherited here. Now Z will be confused to use which method X. Because both the class X they have both the method X. So rather, let's say this class is not X, left hand side is class is X and right hand side class is Y. Let's say, okay. So class your diagram it is given something. Forget about that. So left side is this is where my mouse pointer is moving. It is X, and right side now where my mouse pointer is rotating that is Y. So let's say class X and class Y both are inheriting from class A. And coming to class Z. Now this class X has a method called method X, class Y has a method called method X. Now if this class Z is inheriting both the methods, which one it will inherit? It will have a confusion. You know? So you see there is given the explanation about it. So that is how the confusion, to avoid this confusion, to avoid this kind of dilemma. That's why multiple inheritance is not allowed in Java. Multi-level inheritance is allowed. In C++, multiple inheritance is allowed, multi-level is also allowed. So C++, they have given one option where you can identify which method to be used. So in Java, totally they have removed this confusion, so there is no confusion which method. Coming back to in Java, multiple inheritance can be done through in case of interface. For example, coming to multiple inheritance. So be careful, interface and class, abstract class, right? So we'll create one interface here. We'll create one interface here. That's why I say always be alert. What you are learning, what you are talking, that matters. So interface A, I'll just create. So I'm just creating this interfaces. I'll create one more interface. B. I'll create one more interface. C. Okay, user interface. Let me create one class EM to make it clear, right? Whatever I explained, let's go in that also. See, EMP class I created, I'll write here extend. The person got extended, right? I'll write employee. It's not coming. Employee is not coming. It's not extending, right? Now let's say I will remove this person. So employee is extended if I remove the person. So now employee class is extending what? Employee class is extending person and EMP class is extending person. What I will do here, I'll just have one property for you to show you. Demo attribute. Something I'll do. Huh? Some generating data setup for it. So let's go to that main class. So main class, this output you have seen in my previous video. So here what I will do, I'll create a EMP object. Huh? EMP dot. See, age, birth, these are coming from person class, right? These are coming from person class. Employee ID, employee salary is coming from person class. Demo attribute is coming from EMP class. So all the attributes are available inside what? All the attributes are available inside EMP. I will put it. I'll set something here. Let's say name again. I will set your name. Again, I will set my wife's name. Let's say. Okay. Name, short name. EMP dot set. I will set employee ID. Employee ID will set. Okay. Something I will set it. Okay. Now I'll print this. Okay. So let me run it now. Huh? Just watch it. This session is purely for freshers, beginners, okay, any experienced or professional person having some question, want to know something about technology, you can directly comment on the video or you can mail me. See, fetching from EMP object, person name, demo attribute, employee ID. We are able to say it, right? That means my EMP class is inheriting the property of employee class as well as person class, right? It is called multi-level inheritance. At class level, we cannot have multiple inheritance. Now let's go to interface. Now what is an interface? I explained you interface will not have any definition of the method or function. It will only have a method declaration, right? See, public interface C. Public interface C. What I will do here, I will write extends A, comma, B. Allowed, you know, in Java, multiple inheritance is only allowed for interfaces. not at class level, at interface level. The reason behind that, at interface level you don't have, at interface level you don't have the method definition. Let's say I'll have here string set one method, right? So it will be void set name. Okay. By default, the interface method will be, this access threshold will be public. Even if you don't define, they will be by default public. You define or don't define, by default public. If you define, it is better. So I'll take this here, and here I'll have the and see. So in C, now whatever method I define, right? Let's see, public void or public not void string. Let's say public, yeah, let it be void. Void set is ID. Okay, so this is a method here. In B also a method. In A also we have a method, right? So see, the method is not having any definition. So what is the benefit of having an interface, right? Sometime it might come, this question might come to your mind. So we have a method which doesn't have any definition. So what is the benefit of an interface? What is the benefit of having an interface, right? So I'll give one example. See, the using of interface, the benefit of interface is we can define this interface with a set of behaviors for a specific set of business need or requirements, right? And this interface can be implemented by a class, and that class will define all the behavior or behavioral methods with specific set of implementation, you know, and it will go on. Let's say tomorrow the business requirement changes. And what will happen when the business requirement changes? When the business requirement changes, our functionality for the particular method will also change, right? That means we need to rewrite or override that method, right? So what he can do, another class can implement that interface and can implement or can define the method inside the class with specific definition based on the latest requirement. And whoever is calling that method, they need to only change the new class type. Wherever the new operator and class is used, we need to change only that. Nothing else needed to be changed. That means the creation of class only need to change. Why? Because Java supports interface way of implementation. That is the biggest advantage in Java. You do not require to change many things inside the class. You only need to change wherever the new operator is used to invoke that class. I will show you it by one example also how it works out, right? So just for now, you should know it. This is how this thing. I will explain about this multiple inheritance again while implementing these interfaces, right? So, so let's first go with this. interface A, interface B, interface C. Right? These are three interfaces. We will implement something here which is really going to uh, help us, right? So let's say I'll give an example of bank. In bank, let's say you have one RD, recurring deposit. Many in India, in Indian banking system, many bank will have fixed deposit, recurring deposit, and the percentage for senior citizen is different. The percentage for businessman is different. The percentage for woman is different, right? So there are many ways to implement that rate of percentage calculation for the accounts or for the recurring deposit. But what I will do here, I will just to show the interface how it can be done. I will take an example that may not be that appropriate, but it will help you to understand. So let's create one interface. Already I have this interface A. Let this interface A have a method. You know, calculate rate of interest ROI, right? Percentage and amount for RT, recurring deposit, right? This is one of the method in this interface. So let's go and create one class, recurring deposit for women, right? Let's create recurring deposit for women. This will implement. Okay. See, when we are when a class is inheriting interface, it will be implements. When a class is inheriting another class, it will be extend, right? So here it is showing error because this is a class and this method need to be defined here. This method is already inherited. This method is already inherited. I'm saying add on implemented methods. So it will override, it will bring here. Now, let's say after calculating to do auto generated, so I will not do any calculation here. I will to show you. I'll say calculation is done. You know, I'll just print a recipe calculated percentage calculated. Okay, and I'll return some amount. Let's say 40 lakh. Return some amount, right? Hmm. Some error is there. Let's go here. What is okay? Okay, the file was not saved. The interface was not saved. That's what is giving error. So see, this is calculating for OME, right? Let's say I will create one more class for senior citizen. RD senior citizen, right? So here also we will implement the same method, right? Here also will implement the same method. See, but the calculation will vary because for senior citizen, the percentage might be something different, around 8.5 or something. For women, the percentage might be 7.5 or 8. For normal citizens, for normal, the whoever, like person like you and me, who are normal. So for us, the percentage might be something else, right? Maybe 6.5 or 6, right? For you and me, the percentage like we said. So another class we can also have another class. This is the advantage, this is the advantage of having this. Let's go to the main method. Let's go to the main method here. You know, here below EMP, what I will do, I'll show you how it works. See, A, woman percentage, okay, equal to new, what is that? D, woman, right? A, here, it was, oh, so let's not make it percentage, let's say percentage only. Okay, let's not make it. Let's say something percentage added. Here, what I will do, final amount, arrow, to, I put it here. Let me run it now. One more thing I will do to make it more clarity. I will just make these all very small, yes, and I'll comment these other statements as those are running, right? Let me run it again. Huh? Yes, see it. Final amount after a calculation. So I just do get, what is that? It is public, right? Add domain integer integer. Oh, there is nothing complicated. It's calculate ROI, right? Main method. So I have to pass the percentage. Let's say 8.5 for senior citizen. I don't know how much bank is giving now. Just I put a value and let's say some amount, right? Let's say some amount. Yeah. Don't look into what is the amount per calculation because you're not calculating it. I put same 40 lakh. Okay. Why is it giving error? Is there something wrong? Okay, so int into double int. What is actually error, In that A class, we made it integer, but it should be double because integer will not. Okay, I missed to take this primitive data type session. I will take this primitive data type session after showing this uh, example, or maybe next session I will take that. Okay. So double percentage because decimal value always we will be in double in percentage rate of interest might be in decimal value. So always we'll have it in double, right? To be double. So all the methods wherever that signature is defined, I made it change double, right? The input parameters. Coming back to again main method, the error is gone. 8.5 is the rate of a percentage, and 40 lakh is the amount. So let's run it. You see percentage calculated. Omen. This is for Omen, right? Now, if what is the benefit of interface? See, here what I will do, let's say tomorrow, the woman percentage goes to the general normal percentage. There is no extra percentage for woman. Only for senior citizen is the difference percentage. So what you can do, here simply add the for senior citizen. But no, nothing else need to be changed. Only the object creation value was changed. And if I run it, you see the output in the console. Now you are seeing final amount after RA calculation 40 lakh percentage calculated omen. So now let's run it. Percentage calculated for senior citizen final amount after RA calculation 40 lakh. See, so this is the benefit of interface. I am just giving one example. What is the benefit of interface? There are so many ways, so many examples. You will see more confusion. It will create more confusion when I talk about polymorphism, dynamic morphism, how superclass variable is used to assess methods of different classes, right? How a subclass variable is used to assess methods of superclass, and how a superclass variable is used to assess methods, and is superclass variable is can be used to assess subclass or child class method. You will see that all examples I will show you here. So that time you will have little bit more idea what is the benefit of interfaces. So another example I can give you about the interfaces. Let's say you talk about in biology, you will have class vertebra and invertebra, right? So if you talk about uh, vertebra and you come to mammals. Mammals is a class, right? We all are mammals. We all are mammals, right? We comes under the class called mammal. So why mammals? And under mammals, we are Homo sapiens. So there are so many the abstraction layers are there. When we talk about mammals, it has generic features. And when you come to Homo sapiens, it has more specific features to that Homo sapiens, right? So when you're talking about car, when you talk about car, you can talk about car about uh, giving example of car, right? Let's say Mercedes, C class, A class, B class, right? E class, executive class. So when you go to Mercedes C class or E class, C class has different model, right? But that C class has generic feature. All the model will have that generic feature, and each model will have their unique feature apart from the other. Same for Mercedes E class also. Each Mercedes will have its own generic feature, right? Each Mercedes will have its own generic feature, and E class will have each Mercedes E class will have its own unique features along with the generic features defined for E class. So that's how. So interface is always at the higher level, which will have set of common defined behavior and constant, which can be used by the classes that are implementing it. Slowly, when we go ahead, we write more programs. You all will understand how it works, right? So by this time, you might have understood, the how the classes can be easily interchanged, having the reference variable of interface type, right? This percentage at is a reference variable or a class variable, right? Or of type interface A, right? So we'll discuss a little more about it. Now coming down to uh, this multi-level inheritance, right? This I will show next session. Now I will just talk about the definition of polymorphism and types of polymorphism. Right? So polymorphism, as I said in my previous session, one of the previous session, that poly means many, morphism means form. So polymorphism is basically many forms, right? So in Java, you can have static polymorphism and dynamic or runtime polymorphism. Right? So static polymorphism, what? What is static polymorphism? The static polymorphism is nothing. It is basically, method overriding. I'm sorry, method overloading. You will have many methods with a different form, right? You can have addition methods with a different form. Let's go to this addition.java, right? Here I have one method called add num1, num2. So I can have similar another method, string num1, string num2, right? And it is going to return a string. This is addition of two string, right? This is addition of two string. Similarly, I can have like this addition of two character, right? Addition of two character. I can have, let's say, addition of float variables. If there is some issue, so let's talk about float variable. We can have addition of two float variables, right? We can have addition of two double variables. We can have addition of two boolean variables, right? So see, this is same add method, but input parameter is different, output parameter is different, right? This is the same add method, input parameter is different, output parameter is different. So this is called your method of loading. This is static polymorphism. And we'll talk about dynamic polymorphism and multiple inheritance of interface in next session, and we will finish all that in next session. And for this addition method, this add, this different, I will show you here in this main method by calling them, right? In my first class, by calling this addition, right? So here I will show you how it works also. We'll comment everything here, only overloaded part will keep, right? See, I'm saying addition 1 plus 2 is 3, right? So this is integer value. This it is calling the integer method. If I write addition 1.5, 2.5, 1.5, 2.5. So see, this is 1.5, 2.5. This is same addition method. Why it is showing error? Let's see. Yeah. So this is what we are. Add. Okay. This is float, string. Let me pass to string and see why it is showing error first float. Let's see. Class here, Satya. Here, Madhu. Okay. See, this English one is not showing error, but that the other one is showing error. So let's see why that was showing error. Separately doing it, rather doing it in addition method. Still has some value, some issue with check it. First, let's run this. See how this addition dot add. When I'm calling addition dot add, you have multiple methods, but how the compiler or the interpreter is identifying it. The compiler and interpreter identify it based on the value or the parameter we pass. See, first one I am passing integer. That's how it is able to identify it at two integer, that we call integer method. The second one I am passing what? Second one I am passing the value of string. So that will interpret this to a string. It will return the string. It will call the string method, string addition method, and it will return the string. Here, I think I realized what was the error. Here you have to put f. Whenever you are passing the float value, you have to put f. Just a silly slip from my mind. So I got that. You know, so that's what happened. When you grow into a senior position, you work like an engineering leader. You don't do regular coding. Sometime it will be out of your mind. See how easy, right? So all these methods I have written it here. The only thing is you have to run and see if it works. See, it is working, right? The first one plus 2 addition, that is integer. Since I passed 1, 2, so it is calling a integer addition method. Second one I passed string Satya and Madhu, so it is calling string addition method. Third one I passed 1.5 f, that is float. 2.5 f, that is float. So it called the float method. See, I will show you one interesting, since we are talking about this primitive addition. I'll show you one more interesting, I will add one more method. I'll make it. See, it is showing error now. Why? Because two methods with same name with same input parameter. Return type doesn't matter. Return type doesn't matter in method overloading. What matters is your input parameter. See, now it is done. Return type doesn't matter. Return type doesn't matter, right? Or the error is gone, method error is gone, because here in the return line number 17 that is having error, but the method error in the starting of the method error, that has gone. There is no more error in the method level, but return type error is there, that I defined. Now, if you see, whenever the one condition is talking about method overloading, the method input parameters or arguments what you are passing on that actually matters for your overloading concept. One more method I will create. Yeah, okay. One more method I'll create here. Here what I will do, I'll do long. Here I put long. Here I put. So let's go with primitive rather going with grapher class. Coming to addition method. Coming to that my first class wherever we are executing this. See here. Now this addition dot add 1 2 is basically your integer, right? How it will identify, how it will call the method which is for long. Uh, so you have to add L at the end, so it will call the method which is for the long. And then to make it clear, I will do something else. Wait, okay, I will do something else to make it clear. Same one. I'll make it 1.5, 2.5. This is for double value, right? 2.5, 1.5. You have no need to write anything. By default, by default, it will call the double method. That is the compiler level understanding. In Java, default, any integer value you define, it will be integer. And by default, if you define any decimal variable, it will be considered as double. To understand it, it is calling the actual, the method which is intent. So I'll write one SOP inside that method, to understand called method. Okay, let's see now. That rather not called. Let's make it inside. Huh? It will be better. So these videos are for actually freshers and college going students. Any professional they see these videos, they might not like it. But anyway, these are for beginners. See, inside int method 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Inside string method Satya plus Madhu equal to Satya Madhu. Inside float method 1.5, 2.540. See, this is float method, right? Inside long method 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Inside double method 1.5 plus 2.5 equal to 4.0. So that means you can understand in method overloading what happens. The method will be called, even if you have same name method inside the class, the method will be called based on the method input parameters passed through its input, you know, passed through its input arguments. Here, if you see in line number 15, addition dot add 1 comma 2. In 16, Satya Madhu. In 17, 1.55, 2.55. In 18, 1L, 2L. In 19, 1.5, 2.5. So what happens? It is calling based on its respective parameters. The addition method is called based on its respective input parameter passed to it. This is what method of a loading, right? So today we'll end this session here and we'll talk about multiple inheritance for interface and about your dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism and method of overriding in next session. Thank you everyone.